Hey, how's it going, everybody, and welcome to a very special event month that we got going on here on Channel X. I am your host, Tom Dog 247. As always, I'm Tom Dog all day and Tom Dog all night. Woo, baby, all right. So, we are doing something a little bit different for the month because it's October. That means Halloween stuff and, Halloween themed and everything. So, I was doing the thinking because um with the Ghostbusters 40th anniversary this year, um I figured we dedicate the month of October for Ghostbusters. And because, it's October, it's October, everything's all Halloween stuff and everything like that. And I think it's pretty cool. I think it'll be pretty cool. So I got a so I was doing some thinking to really do all this, and I figured, do an entire month of movie franchises, whether they're horror films, whether they're um, anything that's in the theme of Halloween. So with as I said, the Ghostbusters 40th anniversary this year, I figured I'd kick it off with Ghostbusters month. 40 years, 40 years of Ghostbusters, can't go wrong. Um, so every week on Channel X, we're going to review every single Ghostbusters movie that's that's not the 2016 movie because I've already reviewed that, so everybody knows my take on it. And so, what's the sense of reviewing it again if I already reviewed it? So yeah. So we're gonna go. So we're gonna do Ghostbusters 1 tonight. Next week is going to be Ghostbusters 2. Then Ghostbusters Afterlife. Then we're going to finish it off with Ghostbusters Empire, Frozen Empire. Then um at the end of the month, we're gonna do we're gonna do a Channel X live stream of Ghostbusters the video game, and we're gonna do it that way. And I decided that it's going to be on YouTube. So the original, my original format that I used to do the production. Um, we're going back. We're going to go back to that. So yeah. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting, folks. So hope you all tune in. But I'm really looking forward to it because we're gonna have a fun time. We're gonna have a fun month. As far as it's going to be on the 31st of October where I do the live stream. It's traditional, the traditional. Taking a break from scaring the shit out of me and everything like that. So yeah. Um, but what I'm going to do um on the 30th is talk about my favorite real Ghostbusters episodes. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have a lot of fun with this episode, with that and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be part of Ghostbusters Ghostbusters month. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it's one of my favorite film franchises and everything like that. And but before we get to that, as far as the other reviews, as far as the other topics and everything, those are going to be put on hold until November and everything because I got a lot to review. as far as Agatha and Rick and Morty anime and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, so this month is going to be since getting into the spirit of Halloween and breast cancer awareness month. This is the only thing I had that's pink. So which is the outline of the logo of the Ghostbusters logo, of the neon and everything like that. So um, why not, right? And got my trusty dog. And chat is open so that everybody else can chime in, say hi, and talk about your favorite moments from the first Ghostbusters movie. Um, so yeah, we're going to be talking. We're going to be talking about the Ghostbusters movie, and we're going to talk about its origin a little. We're going to dive a little into a little synopsis about how the Ghostbusters film franchise started about and how it wouldn't have happened and everything like that. So a lot of fun facts and everything like that. And and I wish I could get some Ghostbusters experts out there as well too. I think that would have been also very helpful because I don't think there's a Ghostbusters Connecticut chapter and everything like that. But before we do that, let's do the quick the shout outs and everything like that. Big shout out to the Dorkening Podcast Network, Leo and the gang. I'm sure everybody's tuning in and everything like that. Big shout out to you all. Um, Check them out on YouTube or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Do so because they're amazing. Leo and the gang, just knocking it out of the ballpark, knocking it out of the park. And you know who else is knocking it out of the park too? The Owl Light Network. And big shout out to them. Um, Tomb of the Terrible. I was on there again, uh, covering another, um, covering another, um, Amityville horrible, I guess you could say. And so yeah, that one was a lot of fun, and you can check it out over on YouTube. And this episode is brought to you by M&J Video Games and Collectibles, trading your video games, accessories, and systems. Also, you can get you can sell your DVDs, Blu-rays, and a lot of cool stuff. Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Magic the Gathering cards, pop vinyls, autographed items spanning from sports, wrestling, and actors. I mean, you name it, I'm pretty sure they can get rid of it. They can take it off your hands if there's any value to it. So check it out. If you happen to be in the Southington, Connecticut area and you want to check out this amazing store, do so by checking out their website at mnjvideogames.com. And this episode is also brought to you by W.GG. W Energy. What is W Energy? It's an energy supplement that doesn't give you all the crashes, no sugars, no artificial colors or flavors or sweeteners or dyes or whatever, or anything like that. None of that garbage that you would see in all those other drinks. This is all natural ingredients, so you're only getting the best from W. And if you go to w.gg right now, you can use that promo code Brill check at the checkout and save 10% on your purchase. So anything you buy in the store, you 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 click on that promo code Brill at the on the promo code button there, and you'll be saving 10% off of your order. So yeah, anything you purchase on this, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. I mean, you know, if I had, if I was just a regular customer, if I was just watching this on there and it said, "Wow, Tom Dog is showing off some W. Let me check it out. And I click in w.gg on my tablet or my mobile phone there. And I see all. Oh wow, they got some really cool stuff. You know what? I'm going to use that promo code Brill. I'm going to. Tom Dog seems like a really cool guy, and look at that. He's giving me 10% off the purchase too, so that's great. So check it out. W.gg promo code Brill at the checkout, and you'll save 10%. All righty. Scroll down here. I gotta work all this up. So yeah, let's make Tom Dog feel good. So yeah. All right. So Ghostbusters, the very first Ghostbusters movie, directed by Ivan Reitman, 1984, and yeah, this was a really fun movie. Um, nice for those who aren't familiar with the story. This goes back way before Ivan Reitman and Dan Aykroyd. Um, Before Dan Aykroyd took it over. Um, there was a little show that starred Larry Storch, and it was a filmation production, and it was called The Ghostbusters, and Larry Storch, and there was another actor on there, as well as a an ape named Tracy would go on adventures in busting ghosts, and yeah, that's pretty much the logistics of these things. Um, and it was pretty much a kid show and everything like that. Filmation. There's products are always kid friendly and everything like that. Like He-Man, so forth. And so yeah, this was pretty good film. It was an okay show. This show was out way before my time. It was I believe it was in the '70s when this um, show came out, and so years later, um, it would later be adapted into a cartoon of the same name. Well, it wasn't the Ghostbusters; it was just called Ghostbusters. And so that's where the confusion came about. Which one came first? Was it the Ivan Reitman films, or was it the filmation stuff? Well, the answer to that question is filmation. They were the so Dan wanted to call Dan Aykroyd. He wanted to call it something else, but he really loved the name Ghostbusters. So getting the rights to the name was really difficult at that time. And but with the right money, um, cooler heads prevailed, and yeah, Ghostbusters, and anybody can fact check me on this if I'm getting anything wrong. Drew, please fact check me on this if I'm wrong. But yeah, um, or any other Ghostbusters. Yeah, but I mean that was from what I've heard from the story. And so yeah, it was a really cool, and then production began, and there you go. And but then came another form of controversy during that time, but not from the rights and everything like that, but the to the uh, theme song, the Ghostbusters theme song, sung by Ray Parker Jr. Everybody knows that it's a catchy tune and everything like that. Um, there was a little bit of conflict um, between the with the tone of the song. Um, and and the one that was in question was Huey Lewis from Huey Lewis on the News. He's Huey Lewis sued um, Ray Parker Jr. for copyright infringement, and because he claimed his his claim was that he, the notes to the notes, the instrumental part sounded similar to "I Want a New Drug." Now we all know how we did. We all how we did this before, where I defended the defendant. So here's another installment of defending the music. Tom Dog defending the music, and so here's the tone, the tu- uh, the tune of with copy, because of copyright, due to copyright, I can't play the actual uh, note, but I can hum them. So kind of like what I did with the last one. So here's the Ghostbusters theme song. Here's the Ghostbusters tune. Now here's "I Want a New Drug." Not the same. Not the same. Huey Lewis goes dun, 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 where Ray Parker goes dun, 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 dun. It's not the same. Not the same. Not bonus points if they get the reference. If you get them. So yeah. And um so yeah, another fun fact, um John Candy was originally going to be a Ghostbuster as well as Chevy Chase. And they turned it down. So it went to of course it went to um, Bill Murray. And so yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Eddie Murphy was also in talks of playing Winston. Um, he would eventually turn it down because he had some other projects that he was working on. So so that the role of Winston went to Ernie Hudson. And like, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Um, so yeah, lot of fun, a lot of fun facts and everything like that. And um, so along with Ernie Hudson and Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, um, Harold Ramis, the late great Harold Ramis, would play Egon Spengler, and he's the most pretty much he was the popular one in the group. And another another fun fact, um, we wouldn't know the name we wouldn't know the name of Slimer until the second film, actually towards the follow up, which is the real Ghostbusters, and tackle that we'll tackle that later on. Um, later on, later on in the uh, in the week. And so Slimer in the first film did not have a name. He was just some sort of green blob, ugly little spud. And the and the voice, the voice characterization for Slimer was, of course, Ivan Reitman, who would also provide his voice for Zool later on, that you will hear later on in the film. But going back to Slimer, a huge fun fact about Slimer, um, it was rumored to be the go. Legend tells that it's the ghost of Jim Belushi, or John Belushi. John Belushi. I'm sorry, John Belushi. And before his passing, he was actually considered a role as a Ghostbuster in he was rumored to play Peter Venkman, and unfortunately his time was cut short. And, so yeah, he passed away um, later on. And excuse me, and we all know. To honor um, John Belushi's legacy, he was immortalized as Slimer. So, and every time you see Slimer um, in the Ghostbusters films, he was considered he it was basically as a tribute to him, so to Belushi. So, um, but yeah, it was little fun fact there about that. Um, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Um, they wanted to. There was a huge discussion about who the character would be for the final act of the film, and they wanted someone cute and cute and cuddly, but they didn't want to go through um, characters that were copyrighted. Um, there were some names dropped off, but and one of them happened to be Pillsbury Doughboy. But unfortunately, that didn't happen because they didn't want the Pillsbury Doughboy to be represented as a destructor going to town. But that's a rumor. I don't know if that's true or not. So So Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is an original character. So yeah, and the making of this, of course, is some guy in a bodysuit, in a suit. But for the last scene where where he uh blows up, um, there was whipped cream and I believe some marshmallow, to get some consistency. Um, it was pretty much whipped cream and a mixture of whipped cream and marshmallow, liquid marshmallow, to get the thickness and everything like that. And yeah, not to mention, I think there was also some suds there as well too, in certain scenes. So yeah, and tons of it was uh, was dumped all over Walter Peck, and and another fun fact about Walter Peck, that he I, he was he's supposed to be like this hated character, and William Afton, who plays the character of Walter Peck, um, didn't really like the character. Didn't it didn't Was always hated out in public, that because of because of what he did to the Ghostbusters. And yeah, it was pretty interesting and everything like that. So yeah, but his job as the EPA, he wanted to you know make sure that everything's all well all well, and not you know not thinking that there's anything you know that the Ghostbusters are doing anything illegal. So, but then we started to hate him when he started to make a threat and everything like that. And so yeah, and so, and um, there's one scene in the Cedric Hotel scene, where after they catch Slimer and everything like that, you can see um you can see Egon going like this, and then like this. Um, it was indication. He was signaling to Bill Murray's character about how much the everything would be. First off, it would be 4,000 and 1,000 for the entrapment. And so yeah, little not if you didn't catch that. Lot of other lot of a lot of cool little tidbits. Okay, um so yeah, so now we're gonna tackle the good and the bad of the Ghostbusters, of the first Ghostbuster movie. The good I liked about this was the special effects. The special effects were at the time was really good. Um on the but I How much was the budget? I gotta go to my favorite my favorite um thing, and Ghostbusters. My favorite. Um, yeah, the movie came out in June 8th, 1984. But we're going to go to my favorite part here. That's Wikipedia. Always comes in handy when I can't find when IMDb doesn't pop up. So their their budget their budget was 25 to 30 million. Due to the special effects and location shots and everything like that. Um, they would soon make a profit in the box office, making 296.6 million in the box office worldwide, and it was and the runtime is 105 minutes. So yeah, not bad at all. Um, so yeah, um, yeah, the special effects um um were amazing, and especially when they used stop motion as well too, for the Zool for the Shul when the Zool creature was when the demon dog came out and started running in the street and everything like that. Uh, Close ups they would use puppets. Slimer was also a puppet in there too, and so yeah, a lot of really cool effects and everything like that. And so yeah, it turned out to be really good. And another fun fact: it was the second highest grossing film of 1984. And, another fun fact: Dan Aykroyd's he had had a fascination with the paranormal, and which he inherited from his father, and he would go on later to make a book called History of Ghosts. And another fun fact that it says here that his mother had claimed to have seen ghosts. His grandfather experimented with radios to contact the dead, and his great grandfather, a renowned spirit. And 1981, Dan Aykroyd read an article of quantum physics and parapsychology in the Journal of the American Society Cycle for the Cycle Research. which gave him the idea of grabbing ghosts. Um, he was also a he also got some inspirations from comedy ghost films of the mid 20th century by comics such as Abbott and Costello, who in 1941 did the film Hold That Ghost. Bob Hope called the Ghost Breakers in 1940, and the Bowery Boys, who did Ghost Chasers in 1951. All right, quick little side note that doesn't show. Um, okay, so quick little side note. Um, John Candy and Chevy Chase aren't aren't talked while playing the part, but Eddie Murphy, the part with Eddie Murphy was true though. And so the script went through some changes, and at that time, Reitman pitched the film to Columbia Pictures executive Frank Price in March of 1983. Price found the concept funny, but it was unsure of the project, as comedies were seen to have limited profitability. Said the film would take a big budget due to its special effects and popular cast. This is all coming from Wikipedia. Wright reportedly said that they could work with 25 to 30 million. Varying figures have been cited. Price agreed as long as the film could be released by June of 1984. Reitman later admitted he made up the figure basing on three times budget for Stripes, which seemed reasonable. This left 13 months to complete the film with no finished script, effects studio, or filming start date. Raymond Hart hired his previous collaborators, Joe Medjuck and Michael C. Gross, as associate producers. Columbia CEO Faye Vincent sent his lawyer Dick Gallup to Los Angeles to convince Price not to pursue the film, but Price disagreed. Gallup returned to the head office to report that Price was out of control. And here comes the fun part with the Ghostbusters title, as I mentioned before. Um, as the title Ghostbusters was legally restricted by the 1970s children's show The Ghostbusters, which is owned by Universal Studios, several alternatives were considered, including Ghost Stoppers, Ghost Breakers, and Ghost Smasher. Price parted ways with Columbia early in Ghostbusters production and became head of Universal Pictures, at which point he sold Columbia the title for $500,000 plus 1% of the film's profit, given Hollywood's accounting practices, a method used by studios to artificially inflate a film's production cost to limit royalty or tax payouts. The film technically never made a profit for Universal to be owned a payment. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, that's another fun fact there. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Um. Okay. So I was wrong. Chevy Chase was considered uh the role for Peter Venkman. Also, another fun fact: Michael Keaton, Tom Hanks, Robin Williams, Steve Guttenberg, and Richard Pryor were also considered for the role. Christopher Walken, John Lithgow, Christopher Lloyd, Jeff Goldblum, and Keaton were also considered to play Egon. Uh, Ramus, Egon was inspired by the cover of a journal on abstract architecture for Egon's appearance. Feature, Ramus was inspired by the cover of a journal on abstract architecture for Egon's appearance, featuring a man wearing a three-piece tweed suit, a wire, uh, a wire-rimmed glasses, and his hair standing straight up. He took the character's first name from a Hungarian refugee whom he attended school, and the surname from German historian Oswald Spengler. Apart from the three main stars, Medjuk was largely responsible for casting the roles. Um, so for the backstory of Winston, um, for the casting of Winston, as I said, Eddie Murphy was slated for the role, but that rumor was denied by Reitman. Gregory Hines and Reginald Vell Johnson were also considered for the part. And fun fact, Reginald Vell Johnson, you would see a quick little cameo in the movie. Um, for the for the role of Dana Barrett, um, besides Sigourney Weaver, who would take take the role, Daryl Hannah, Denise Crosby, Julia Roberts, and Kelly LeBrock auditioned for the role, and Sigourney Weaver attracted the filmmakers' attention. Um, her previous roles in Alien in the Year of Living Dangerously, um, where the movies uh, caught the attention of the filmmaker. Um, which Sigourney Weaver had, her serious role in Alien, and the Year of Living Dangerously was mostly her comedic role. Oh yeah, John Candy was okay. I was mistaken again. Um, so John Candy was offered the role of Louis Tully. Told uh, Reitman that he turned it down because he didn't understand the character and suggested portraying Tully with a German accent and multiple German shepherds. But the filmmakers felt they were already enough dogs in the film. Candy chose not to pursue the role. Reitman had previously worked with Rick Moranis and sent him the script. He accepted the role an hour later. Sandra Bernhard turned down the role of Janine Melnitz. Um, and fun fact, coming up, another fun fact: the role of the Sumerian god Gozer envisioned as a business-suited architect, and it was originally intended for Paul Rubens when he passed on the idea. Um, Yugoslavian actress Slavica Jovan was cast as the character, changed from one, and her looks were inspired by Grace Jones and David Bowie. Uh, yeah. A lot of fun facts, and which is probably what I should have done sooner. But yeah, nonetheless, a lot of really cool. The the score, uh, the score was composed by Elmer Bernstein, and so they had some orchestra. We already tackled the Huey Lewis and the News. Um, Believe it or not, Huey Lewis was approached to compose the film's theme, but was already committed to work on Back to the Future. Yeah, another fun fact there. A lot of cool stuff and everything. So yeah, um, the sound, like I said, so yeah, let's talk about the good and the bad of the movie. Um, the good being the special effects, as I said, and um, the music, um, the the characters interacting with the characters interacting with each other, um, the action, the action. Um, and for a film, it did seem a little quick. Instead of who would have thought that a movie would be 65 minutes long? So, not no, wait, no, not about like a nearly 2 hour, like a night like a 90-minute film. Um, Next 15 minutes. But yeah, nonetheless, it was pretty good. And so the bad. What can we say about the bad? It's coffee. um, let's see the bad. Um, I don't know. I really can't point point out some bad in this film. I mean, um, I really don't. I really can't tell what I can think of anything bad about this film. Um, Even though I said that the special effects were good, were good. There were some of them that seemed kind of off put. Um, for example, you can see you could the stop motion at the time. It was you know humorously visible. Um, there was even at one point where um when it didn't get upon when it um you can actually see through um the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and yeah, so it was a little bad. And excuse me. Um, yeah. um, so how do I how do I rank this? Um, 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 stars on this one. This was a very good film. Obviously, I'm going to recommend this for everybody. But yeah, this was a really good film. Really good film. Um, and this was a really good comedic charm for this film. And my first experience with this, like, my parents took me when I was a kid. They took me to see this. They took me to see this movie, and it looked pretty good. The trailers, I saw the soundtrack, the music video and everything. So it was pretty cool. Um, so they took me to go see it. Um, once the su- once I was on summer vacation and everything, and my first experience seeing this was not good. It was not good. Embarrassingly, at a kid my age, um, I was easily scared, and we wound up leaving the theater because I was so frightened. We left the theater early, after Dana closed the refrigerator. So I didn't get a chance to see Slimer, and I did not get a chance to see um, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, which I wanted to see because I have heard about those two characters, and I did not get a chance to see that until it would eventually show up on video. So yeah, um, as I got older, I started getting more comfortable seeing the movie and everything like that. And 10 years ago, when I saw this film in theater, when I saw this film in theaters, I wanted to see this film in theater because I wanted to redeem myself from what had happened years ago. So when the announcement was made that it was going to be re-released in theaters, I said I have to go and see this film. I need I need to redeem myself because you know at the time I didn't think that they would re-release it in the theaters, but for the anniversary. 10 years ago when they re-released it. Um, I said, I said to myself, yeah, I have to see this movie. I have to see this movie because I need that closure. Because years ago, I didn't get a chance to see this film. I saw the film, but I left because of that scary image. So yeah, you know, 1984. I was 5. I was 5. Um, because my birthday is in August, so I was 5 then. And yeah, it was a yeah. So I went to go there. Um, I snuck some. I brought in some Cheez-Its because there's a scene in the movie where they had Cheez-Its, so I brought some Cheez-Its with me. Everything. Yeah, I snuck it in. Actually, you can say all you want because Regal's not around anymore. So, and if they are, not in Waterbury anymore. But nonetheless, it was an experience. It really was. It was really nice, and I redeemed myself. I redeemed myself and everything. Of course, 30 years later, and so yeah, I now I just look at that. And there you go. It's like I had to sit. I had to pretty much remember, and but I know it wasn't the same theater. I mean, because the theater I went to was no longer around. But but yeah, this was. But yeah, it was really cool, and I got to see it. And yeah, going in there, really, it was really good. I pulled it off. So I redeemed myself and everything, as I said, and yeah, uh, and I try to try to remember what seat I would so I recreated. I didn't sit in the front. I didn't sit in the back. I pretty much sat in the middle, um, in the aisle, in one of the aisle seats and everything to get that at least pinpoint to where I was. So yeah. Um. So yeah. Nonetheless, it was pretty good. Um. So yeah. Overall, for 4 to 5, recommend this. You know, if you haven't seen it, you got to go see it. Um. Find some way to see it because this movie is worth watching. Definitely watch this. You know, definitely watch this film. So thank you all so much for tuning in. That's pretty much all the time I have for today. To my look back at memory lane, 40 years of Ghostbusters, and Ghostbusters month is just starting. Um, Thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at TomDog247. If you missed any of tonight's episode, you can check it out as soon as I turn off the camera. And uh, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below um, your fond memories of the first Ghostbusters movie. What you liked about the film, what you didn't like about the film. Let us know in the comment section down below. Ringy dingy that bell to stay notified. Ringy dingy that bell to stay notified of what I'm going to be doing next. And be sure to support small streamers like myself by doing the most important thing you can do for us small streamers like myself. And we will love you for it. We will love you more than busting ghosts. The only way we can do that is one simple thing. Even if you don't hit that like button, even if you don't ring the bell, even if you don't leave a comment or anything, there is one thing you got to do, and that is face hug that subscribe button. We will see you here next week. Um, Continuing our Ghostbusters month with with my review of Ghostbusters 2, and on Saturday we got some wrestling crime stuff going on there, and be on the lookout for that. We're gonna have a lot of fun there. Um, so yeah, happy anniversary, Ghostbusters! See you next week. Until next time, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long, peace. Bustin' makes me feel good.